Hey guys, it's Nicovi. So today we're gonna be making one of my highly requested videos. It's gonna be the DoubleTree copycat cookie. It's so bomb. A little vibe of oatmeal, got a little chocolate chip like vibes going on. It got nuts in it. It's like literally all of my favorite things in one cookie. So stay tuned, I'm gonna show you how to make it. Okay guys, so this is all the things that we're gonna need to make this cookie, okay? So we're gonna need 2 eggs. We're gonna have 2 sticks of butter. We're gonna end up melting these, so I just kept them on, kind of kept them room temperature. We got some oats. We're gonna go ahead and put this in a blender and blend it up because you don't want big chunks of oats in your cookie. So I just put it in a blender so it's nice and easy. So we're gonna pop that in shortly. I have some flour here. Ooh, I don't want to spill now. I have some flour here, okay? This is all of our sugar. We have brown sugar, white sugar, salt, baking soda, and if you look really closely, I have a hint of cinnamon. Don't ask me what happened, okay? Bear with me. I have some walnuts and pecans here. You can do all walnuts, you can do pecans, you can do whatever you want. I ran out of walnuts, so I have to kind of make do with what I have. When you're a real cook, you just go with the flow. You don't. Okay, and then we have semi-sweet chocolate chips. We have some lemon juice here, and I kept it in a little measuring cup. And then we have some vanilla extract as well. So this is all the things we're gonna need to make this delicious cookie. Okay, so the first thing we're gonna do is gonna take our oats and we're just gonna blend it up. I'm actually gonna put the exact measurements of everything below so it's easier for you to follow along. And go ahead and blend it up. Okay, that's good. So we pretty much just want the oats to almost be like a powder. It's supposed to look almost like formula. You just want it to be a very thin powder. So once you get it like this, you're good to go. Now, we're gonna take our blended oats and we're just gonna drop it into our flour right here. So go ahead and pour it inside. Okay, so now you have the oats and the flour in here. Next, we're gonna take our baking soda and our salt and our cinnamon and place it inside of here. Okay, so now we have our flour in here, our oats, our salt, our baking soda. So we're just gonna take this and just set it to the side. We're not doing anything else with that right now. I went ahead and melted our butter, as you can see. So we're gonna go ahead and just pour that into a separate bowl. You don't wanna do this in the same bowl. You wanna keep your, oops, I have a little piece left there. And then you're gonna take your sugars and go ahead and pour it into the butter as well. Okay. And then you're just gonna take your spatula and just stir this. You really don't need a mixer or anything like that. You just a wooden spatula is just fine. You need to mix it until it's a smooth consistency. This is my favorite part because you start smelling all the flavors and you just literally want to eat it now. Like I could probably eat this. Just the way it is, that's so sad. If you want to take a whiff of it, yeah, that right there. Oh my gosh, I love me some cookies. If anyone knows me knows I love sweets. Can you see?
I can't contain it. Go ahead.
Why are you laughing?
How you doing it?
Okay, well, I got this. The butter and the sugar is all mixed up together. It's a nice smooth consistency. So what we're gonna go ahead and do is put our eggs in, our lemon juice, and our vanilla extract. So just pop it in there. Make sure you don't get any, oops, and I just got one in there. Shells. You're gonna pour in your lemon juice and your vanilla extract. And okay, so people are so tempted to get a mixer and just blend this to death. You actually don't have to do it with this recipe, which I love. So you're just literally gonna take the egg yolks, the sugar, and all of that wet ingredients and just stir it together with that same wooden spatula. And I love this. I'm not a baker. This is probably one of very few things I can bake. It's so easy. You can have the kids do it with you. You can have a nice romantic evening with your honey, making some fresh cookies. I used to, when I first started dating my boyfriend, I used to buy him things from the store and told him that I'd bake it. And he used to be so impressed. And now he knows the truth. Now he knows I'm more of a cook and not a baker. But this I can do. So now we officially have all of our wet ingredients in this separate bowl, and then don't forget we had the oats, the flour, our salt, our baking soda, and our cinnamon in this bowl. So we're just gonna combine it together now. So go ahead and just pour it in. You wanna make sure you get I'm not wasting this, okay? I get every last drop that I can. And so now it's like this. I have the dry ingredients and I'm just gonna stir this together as well. Maybe a little bit of lumpy because of the oats in it. So don't worry, it doesn't have to be perfect, but just blend this all together with your spatula until it's one. So it's gonna start looking like this and it will eventually become one mixture. I always wondered what cookies taste like. You ever wondered, like when you eat cookies, how chocolate chip cookies would taste without chocolate chips? Would that make it a sugar cookie? That technically wouldn't make it a sugar cookie though, because sugar cookies I feel like taste different than the chocolate chip cookie batter. I don't know. Got my arm is like, oh my gosh. Still mixing strong, but slowly you kind of see it becoming that cookie dough consistency. Anyone that gets these cookies from me knows that I made it from love, because this right here is a whole workout. It's not perfect. It still has a little bit of lumps, but like I said, you did put oats in it, so it's not gonna be perfectly smooth, so don't. Now is my favorite part. We're gonna take our walnuts, we're gonna take our chocolate chips, and we're just gonna pour it in and mix it all together. So first I like to do one at a time because it might be a little bit, you see I was already struggling without the nuts in there. So we're gonna mix it together and make sure the walnuts are all combined. And I didn't chop the walnuts or the pecans, you can. This time I've made these obviously before. I want a bigger nut in each bite. I want a bigger piece of nuts. There's no right way to say that. Here. You have the option if you want, you can chop the walnuts or you can keep them whole. I personally like my walnuts whole and my pecans whole, so I'm just gonna leave it just the way it is. But of course, if you want smaller ones in your cookie, you can go ahead and chop it up in the blender or by hand. So now we're gonna take the chocolate chips and pour that in. Oh my gosh, guys. I like to put a lot of chocolate chips because the more chocolate chips, the better. You can put more or less, obviously, to whatever your preference is, but you can never have too much chocolate. So now you see I'm really struggling because now I have all of these ingredients in here. And I'm just gonna mix it all together. Okay, so now all your hard work has paid off. This is the cookie dough. I know you're tempted, but don't eat it. We're gonna stick this in the fridge for about 4 hours. If you put it in the fridge now, you're not gonna get the right consistency of that cookie you need. You need it to be nice and cold. If you can do it overnight, even better. But 4 hours at least, just let it kind of get stiff. I actually roll these into small balls and then put them in the fridge so they're easier and you can kind of cheat and get it maybe less than 4 hours because everything's getting cold faster. Versus trying to do the whole bowl and trying to get everything cold. So that's a little trick that I learned. So just roll it into small balls and that'll make it easier for when it's time for you to go ahead. You're just gonna take it and you're gonna get your hands dirty. It feels not that pleasant, but you're just gonna roll it literally into just little bowls and place it on a baking tray. You could put it back in another bowl. I just do it on a baking tray on some foil, easy cleanup. So just a little tiny, you know what, I'm just gonna dig right in and just get it. I can't help but smell everything, sorry guys. And they don't have to be perfect, like you don't have to roll them into perfect balls. You're pretty much just separating them. I don't know. Okay, now my hands are all nasty, so I'm gonna wash these off and just cover it and prop it in the fridge.